And it's the daily go get mism show. You think it ain't when it is? Uh, you think it won't when it is? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off fast lane, no coasting. Everything is going to be all right. We do this thing on a Thursday night, Throwback Thursday. Let's get real about relationships Thursday. How y'all feeling tonight, man? I'm feeling like a real man should. And I hope y'all feeling like real men and women should. Yo, so tonight on the Daily Go Get a Business Show, we are talking about trying not to scare a man or a woman away before a relationship. Trying not to scare somebody away before y'all even get off the ground of being together. Before y'all can even say, that's my man, that's my girl, this is who I want to be, that's my world. We are together, but we couldn't get together because I scared you off. And I don't know whether it was because I told you that I was broke, or if I told you I like to play around and joke, or because I said that I really like to smoke and I smoke too much. Yo, pass me a Dutch and give me a drink. Yo, do you think that you could pay my bills and probably buy me a mink? Or could you do something for me that nobody done before? Or if they did before, they regretted it for sure. Or anyway, that's what we're talking about tonight on the Daily Go Get 'Emism Show. Try not to scare a man or a woman off before a relationship. I mean, come on. You know, when you first meet somebody, if you're really digging them, and I mean really digging them, you know, because nowadays we be acting like, you know, like, listen, take me as I am. If you don't like the way I do, if you don't like the way I look, if you don't like the way I am, you can keep it moving, kick rocks and all of that. All of that sounds good when you're talking about somebody that you wasn't really feeling that much from the beginning. When it comes down to somebody that you're really feeling, that you really like, that gets your heart pumping, that makes you want to be a better version of yourself, at least temporarily, until you can at least get them in the net. You know what I mean? Until you can get the hook on the fish. You know what I'm saying? When you go fishing, you throw, you know what I mean? You cast your line out into the water. You know what I'm saying? You ain't going to just start reeling in the line, but when you don't even feel a bite. And even if you get a bite, you got to make sure that you reel it in. You reel it in a way that you can get the fish out of the water into the bucket. Put that thing back in the water again. Do you understand what I'm talking about? So that's what we're talking about tonight on the Daily Go Get 'Emism Show. Try not to scare a man or a woman away before a relationship. Many people do this. Toxic people do this. Decent people do this. Hurt people, hurt people, hurt people, hurt people, hurt people, hurt people, hurt people. Hurt people do it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, to the point where they might seem like they're playing the victim at times when they probably should appear to be standing up for themselves more. You know, there are plenty of things you can do to detract someone that was previously attracted to you when you start showing them things that they're not really attracted to. And listen, those might be aspects of your personality, but are they the aspects of your personality that you need to put out there up front? Now, that's not to say that you should hide the better parts of you or the realer parts of you or whatever. It's not to say that. But timing is everything. You know it and I know it. Timing is everything. If you pick the right numbers on the that are in the lottery at the right time, guess what? You win. You pick the right numbers tomorrow that were for today. The winning numbers for today cannot be played yet tomorrow. Unless the stars have aligned themselves in a crazy way where, 777s came out 2 days in a row. I don't know what's going on with the Pennsylvania lottery, but something tells me they fixing something. Them balls don't never do nothing like that. Shout out to all my lottery players back in the day. You know, the old head lottery players, the ones that used to buy those dream books and numerology books. You know how old I was before I realized that numerology had had more to do with astrology than it did with the daily number. My mom used to buy all of these daily number books, and they all said numerology. She used to be like, oh yeah, this is how I know what numbers are coming out next week, next month, tomorrow, later on in the day. I was like, what? I found out that numerology had something to do with astrology. I was like, astrology is copying off of these dream books. But anyway, because it's Throwback Thursday, let's get real about relationships Thursday. So I thought I would interject that a little bit. Anyway, yeah. Timing is important. Ultra important in anything that you do. If you do it at the right time and the right place will get you nothing but success. And I don't know anybody out there that doesn't want to be successful. And I don't know anybody out there that doesn't want to be successful in business. And I don't know anyone out there who doesn't want to be successful in love. Got to get your timing right to be successful in love. All right, so let's talk about it. What are some of the things that you can do, or maybe some things that you have done in previous years, previous relationships, previous hookups that you believe scares somebody away? Because sometimes like, damn, I shouldn't have. I know what happened. I could see it in their face. I could see it in their eyes. When I told them this and that, they was hella surprised. You could tell that the tables turned. They started talking funny. That look on their face could be replaced by nothing that I ever saw before, and I never seen them again. So I guess I didn't win, and I guess we friends. Yeah, we'll always be friends, but not the kind of friends that I wanted to be in the beginning. What y'all got for me? What y'all got for me? What y'all know? Carol Chamberlain, mi friend, mi favorita, and Ansel Jones, my brother Ansel Jones. T. Carrie Wright, morning, noon, and night. And Stacy White, I hope you're feeling all right. So that's what we're talking about tonight, y'all. That's what we're talking about tonight on the Daily Go Getimism Show. Trying not to scare a man or a woman away before a relationship. Just trying to do the things that will at least allow you to get your foot all the way in the door. You know what I mean? You want to get past the password part. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever gone into a place like a club or something like that where they had the little sliding door? You know what I mean? Not the peephole, but you had to knock on the door. Maybe you had to knock with the secret knock. The secret knock. Bop, 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 bop. No, that's too easy. Bop, 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 bop. How'd it go? I said it went a bop, 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 bop. I said how it go? I said a bop, 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 bop. Is that the dope? I said the bop, 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 bop. Somebody at the. I said a bop, 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 bop. Okay. Have you ever gone to somebody going to the secret door and they slid open that little opening where all you could see was their eyes and maybe a little bit of their nose? Yeah. Who sent you? Who sent you? Oh yeah. Okay. But what's the password? The password is bop, 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 bop. No, it's not. I forgot. It's bop, 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 bop. Okay, come on in. It was bop, 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 bop. Anyway, you don't want to waste opportunities or ruin opportunities before you even get a chance to show your stuff, before you even get a chance to contribute, before you get a chance to make your life a little bit better, because that's what we're looking for when we try to get into a relationship. We are trying to seize the opportunity to make our emotional lives improved. We are trying to improve our emotional existence in this world. We trying to get somebody that will make us want to hold on to them. And we are trying to be held by somebody who is worthy. So what are the things that we have done, or what are the things that we might do in order to scare somebody away? Now, some of y'all have been heartbroken and y'all still bitter. So you like, well, if it scares them away, then they wasn't the one for me anyway. That's your arrogance. And actually, you're hurt. That's your pain talking. It really is. It really is. Because don't nobody have to take you as you are, especially when you giving them the bad part up front. Don't nobody have to take that. And why do you feel so comfortable giving somebody the most undesirable pieces of you up front? Why? Why does that make you comfortable? Why do you feel better about giving somebody the hard way or the long road to get to you? Can't get next to you. Can't get next to you. So what are some of the things that we can do to scare somebody away from us? I know from a man's perspective, one thing that a woman may do that may scare away a lot of men is start talking about her financial situation, her negative financial situation. Now, I know that there's some of y'all independent, those strong black independent women are saying, well, nowadays, niggas like them broke bitches. So the worst thing you can do, the thing that you can scare a man away with, is to let him know that you don't need him for money. Like, you can pay your own bills, you can take care of your own kids, you can pay your own car note, you got your own house, you got your own career, and you don't really need a man for no money. That scares niggas away nowadays. I ain't talking about that. But that is still talking about your financial situation. Why let anybody know how much you don't need someone that fits the criteria that they have? In other words, even if a woman said, I don't need no man kind of woman. I don't need a man for no money. Well, you're talking to a man. And most men have been conditioned to start families or to improve the lives of the families that are there. So you're basically telling me that you don't need me. You only want me. Well, I don't know how to only be wanted, and I don't really want to only be wanted. I want to be wanted. I want to be needed. I want to have a contribution here. So that might scare some men away. And also talking about how much money you don't have, how broke you are, how much you need, what kind of bills you have. Plenty of women have done this. Like, well, listen, if you're going to be with me, you got to understand I got bills I got to pay, so if you're the kind of man that's stingy, don't want to help out, don't want to be there, don't want to contribute sometimes. You know what I mean? If you don't like to go out, if you don't like to do things, if you don't want to travel, if I need a couple of dollars for something or whatever, and you don't want to do that, then you probably don't want to be with me. That can scare a lot of men away. Like, this chick is a straight bill, and she let me know from the beginning that she is a 30-day payment. As a matter of fact, this is looking more like every other week when I get my check. When I get paid, she gonna have to get paid. Well, that might scare a lot of men off. Like, shoot, if his financial situation ain't really all of that, it might scare her off. Same thing with men. Maybe talking about how much money you don't have might scare some women away. Like, damn, this nigga a broke nigga. Like, what he looking for? He sound like he looking for a place to stay. He sound like he is very, very, very needy. I don't want to be with nobody like that. I mean, this guy, yeah. It looks to me like I'm gonna have to be paying for dinners and movies and all kinds of recreational activities. I might have to put gas in his car. I might have to buy him a car or lend him my car. I'm going to be at work all day while he's driving around all day looking for work. It could scare some people away. And I'm not saying that those aren't real aspects of you, because they just very may well be. That might be who you are, what you are. But does somebody need to see that part of you up front? So talking about And also some men scare women away by making it seem like their whole sense of self-respect revolves around their financial situation. I got this. I own this. Yeah, I'm getting money like this. Putting people down, putting other people down who don't have a lot of money. She might be feeling like, damn, this dude, all he cares about is money. Like, I can see right now that this guy's going to do whatever he wants to do based on the fact that he feels like he's paying for everything. So he might feel like he can cheat on me, have babies on me, or straight up disrespect me because he got money like that. And he might be the type that will straight shit on you and disrespect you, and then buy you a ring or something like that, thinking that everything is cool. It's not unreasonable to think this way, right? It's not unreasonable. It happens for real, for real. Word mother, for real, for real. So these things that people can do up front to scare people away before the relationship even gets started. Like, you ain't had to, like, listen, Ma, I'm just trying to get to know you. You know what I mean? Like, my ego says that no woman could scare me away because I'm not a scaredy cat. Like, I don't get scared. But what's the difference between being scared off and being turned off? There's no difference. It's the same shit. Like, I don't like what you did, and I don't want to be with somebody like you. I don't want to be with somebody who displays those kinds of characteristics like you do. And there are plenty of things that people can do to turn you off, scare you off, or whatever. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. What are some of the things that have been done with you, to you, around you, towards you, that you said, I don't know what kind of man or woman would put up with that from you? And of course, one man's trash is another man's treasure. One man's pain is another man's pleasure. Same thing as women. So somebody out there will like it, but that ain't got nothing to do with you or who you're trying to pursue or who's trying to pursue you. So that's what we're talking about tonight. What are the things that you can do to try not to scare someone away, to scare a man or a woman away from you before a relationship even has a chance to get off the ground? Think about some of the bad dates you've been on. Think about some of the bad dates you've been on. If you were already shaky about going out with the person, seeing the person, giving the person the chance, and because that first date or those conversations, that's like an interview. It's no different than a job. When you go look for a job, you try to let that job know all of the good parts of you. Same thing with a date. With a job, you go in there dressed well. Well, things that I've seen lately, maybe not dressed well, but normally you go in a job, you go in there dressed well, your hygiene is up, you are speaking well, you are being very, very communicative, you are you're offering feedback, you're very accommodating, you're letting people know what your skills are, what your attributes are, what the potential of your contribution may be. You're trying to let them know that I am the person for this job. I would be an asset to this company and a good person to have on staff. That's how you are when you go get a job. That's no different than when you are really digging somebody and you want to go out and have a good time with them and see if y'all can become a good Lego fit. And not too many things in this world fit together better than Legos. Even like Tetris, with Tetris, yeah, the blocks go together, but they don't fit together. You know what I mean? With Tetris, it's a smooth fit. them blocks. It's a smooth fit. You know, with Legos, they gotta fit inside the groove together. You can't pull a Lego out from the middle like you can with a Tetris block. So yeah, just like when you go on a job, you try to let them know that you are the man or the woman for the job. And when you go out on a date with somebody, if you're feeling them, you're going out on this date hoping that y'all will have good conversation, laughs, and a great time, and hopefully an opportunity to see each other again, and maybe even be able to do the nasty next time. You know, you get to put your thing inside of it, or have the thing put inside of you. Like, oh, ooh, that first date went good. I wanted to give him something then, but I ain't giving him something then, but I'm gonna give him some now. Ooh. Ooh, he digging me out. He's digging me out. Digging me out. Yeah, he's digging me out for the sake of love. He's digging me out. Dig me out. Yeah, he's digging me out for the sake of love. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? So if you think about any bad dates you've been on, what are some of the things that happen on a bad date? Somebody didn't know what to say out of their mouths. Maybe for some women, first thing he starts talking about when y'all, went to dinner or whatever, he starts talking about, he asks you something like, what's your favorite sexual position? It ain't gonna be the position that we in tonight. And you know what, my dude, I think I'm gonna catch an Uber because it's not gonna. Why would? Dudes have done it. Dudes do it right in your inbox on social media, or the first time you talk to them on the phone. Yeah, what's your favorite sexual position? They trying to let you know right then and there what that first date is going to be like, or what it's hitting for, or what they're looking for. Well, that might be one of those things that scared a woman away immediately, even if she was sexually attracted to him. Like, this nigga don't know that a woman is attracted to a man not in the way that a man is attracted to a woman. Like, he didn't even think about whether I was comfortable with that, or like maybe he doesn't think I care about my own safety. Like, I don't know you. Why should I tell you what my favorite sexual position is so soon? Do I even know your last name yet? Do I know how many children you have? Do I know that you're not a killer? Have you been to jail? What you went to jail for? If you've gone to jail, did you do it? Did you do it with malice? Are you still on parole? Have you paid restitution? What are your dreams? What are your aspirations? What do you want to do? What is your contribution to this world? If you could have the world see you as a certain thing, anything that you wanted to be, if you could have the world look at you in the way that you wanted to be looked at, how would you have them view you? If you were to pass away today and you could construct the way your eulogy was read, what would you have them say? See, that's deep shit. Even things like that might scare some people away, but think about what is going to do to a person, or with a person who just asked you, what's your favorite sexual position? Like, this nigga just let me know that he don't see me as anything except for a piece of meat. And I might have been a piece of meat had we got through this first date. But as it is, I'm catching an Uber. I'm not getting in the car with this dude. You know what I mean? I went on a date with who I thought was Ted Danson, and wound up getting in the car with Ted Bundy. I'm just glad I made it to the restaurant without being in cuffs. This nigga told me he was taking me to the movies. He was taking me to the woods. I'm scared. Scared. You know it's bad when instead of 911, you were like I need to talk to the FBI. I need to talk to the feds immediately. And so, yeah, there's certain things you can do, like, you know, maybe because you were incarcerated as a man, maybe you were incarcerated before for a long time, and you still showing all this institutionalization that you have. Nigga, we went to the Waffle House. This nigga ordered Chi-Chi's. The fucked up part about it is the waitress knew what Chi-Chi's were, but it's like, we don't serve that. Now I can show you where to get some Chi-Chi's. But speaking of Chi-Chi's, you know, well, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the term, because you've never been to jail or dealt with somebody who had been to jail for a long time, Chi-Chi's are oodles and noodles with all kinds of other shit in it, like potato chips and Cheetos. It's mostly Cheetos, you know, Cheetos. So Cheetos with the mixed in with the damn oodles and noodles, the ramen noodles. It gives it it's a jail meal. A very popular jail meal. I don't even know if they call it that in all of the correctional institutions across the country. But in the Pennsylvania correctional institutions, they call them Chi-Chi's. So yeah, I went out with this nigga. That's what a woman might say. I went out with the nigga. He ordered some Chi-Chi's. We at the Waffle House. I was so embarrassed. Well, yeah, that might scare off. This nigga ain't home yet. And if he ain't home yet, that means he might do certain things to show that he ain't ready to be home. Like, you know, when you already locked up, you don't feel no kind of way about committing another crime that might add on some more time. Like, he might shank me or something, you know. So being violent ain't nothing for a person that already feels like they still ready, they still locked up or are willing to go back. Stacey White says, I found my glasses. That's what's up. That's great. That's like saving money right there. TK Wright says, well, in previous relationships, I've not verbally communicated how I felt about the person, and it made people think that I wasn't really into them. Okay. She also says, now that I think of it, I have held back on sharing my level of tomboyism. It's intimidating to some men. I can see how I can see how it would be or could be. And I've been out with women who, yeah, it was sounding a little too, in my opinion, butch. Like, I don't know. Like, niggas want to hear this shit that you talking about? I don't know. Carol says, good point. Thinking back, I probably did the same. Okay. Ansel Jones says, putting limits on relationships. He also says, I make more money. I make decisions. It's a popular way of thinking. Carol says, one of my brothers once told me I would always be alone because I was too independent. I couldn't ask a man for anything. Well, I think that once a person gets comfortable with somebody enough to be able to trust them, then they might get to the point where they are able to ask for something because they know that it's not going to be an indictment on their financial position or their power position. Like, you might not want to ask anybody for anything because you might recognize that some people look at giving you money or buying you things as a way of having something over you. Like, she needed me to buy it for her because she can't afford it herself. And nobody wants to feel that way. Well, some people are a little too comfortable feeling that way. Would you agree? Hmm. Would you agree? Okay. TK Wright says some men love to take care of a woman. Low income and high income both had men like that. For all of their men, it's a red flag. Mia Cunningham, god damn, what's going on, Mia? Okay. Stacy says, I learned to keep the focus off of me. Now that's interesting. How do you keep the focus off of you as you're trying to get to know somebody or get close to somebody? And she says, I don't talk too much. I don't talk so much. That can actually be intimidating for some men because they might think that you're really hiding something. Mia Cunningham says, someone asking me anything sexual on a first date can guarantee there will not be a second date. Would you even finish the first date? I mean, honestly, you know what I mean? I think it's a valid question. Would you finish a first date that you had with somebody if they were already talking about sex? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Oh, yeah, I'm a little thirsty. You know what I'm saying? My little thing going. I don't want to be out of the shot for too long. But yeah. Shoot. You know, honestly, if I felt unsafe on a date, I'm not sure if I would hesitate to be out of there. To be on up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I holler. I'm good. But everybody's different. Okay. All right. Mia says eating sloppily while on a date will turn me off. Wanting to go Dutch, there won't be a date. Okay. Emily Dunlap in the house. I said it. Emily. All right. Mia says, I haven't been on a date. I'm in so long. I don't think. Wait a minute. I don't think I know how to go on a date anymore. And that's funny. Carol Chambers says, a man whose first words are about sex, about his ex in a negative way, like she's the reason I don't see my kids. Carol. I don't see how a man can be good. Making excuses for not seeing his child. You already are showing signs of being a deadbeat. Sounds like being scary. So, yo, brothers, you might want to keep the issue of child support. I mean, keep the the subject of child support out of your conversation when you go out on a date or when you're trying to pursue somebody in a relationship? Does that mean you're not keeping it real? Keeping it real. Anything and everything that you do authentically is real. You know, I'm going to talk to y'all for a second about keeping it 100 because we overuse the word keeping it 100. Because we can look at keeping it 100 in a variety of ways. Now, for most of us, we say keeping it 100 means keeping it real, being your authentic self, not being fake, not hiding things about you. But you could also look at keeping it 100 as making sure that you give your all. You give everything. You don't leave anything out. I don't think that anybody should or needs to keep it 100 or leave anything out in the beginning. We talked about timing earlier in this show, and timing is important. You don't owe anybody your entire life story, the first conversation that y'all have, or the first few dates that you go out on. Now, if you're holding back pertinent information that could be damaging to the person that you're dealing with in the short or long run, yeah, that's not keeping it 100, and that's not being fair, and that's not a good thing. But what if it's a fact that you are working on yourself? And to be honest with y'all, I started to name this show Working on Yourself Before You Get Into a Relationship. But we can do that later on down the line. Y'all see it. You see it. What if you're working on yourself? What if you know that you have negative qualities, that you have done things that you're not so proud of, maybe some things that you're straight up ashamed of, and you're trying to change yourself? What if you've recently stopped using drugs or alcohol or started taking yoga classes? You're attending therapy. What if you are trying to lose weight and you're trying to improve your overall health, mental, emotional, physical? You know, do you have to tell somebody about your entire journey up front? You don't have to. You're still working on yourself. So maybe you can work on yourself to the point where you can get more comfortable with your own story. And I know I can speak on this because, like I told y'all, when I first stopped drinking, I didn't tell nobody I wasn't drinking no more. I wasn't sure if I had stopped drinking. I ain't know. I didn't know. I wasn't sure. Hold on. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure. I didn't know if I stopped drinking. I didn't know if a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months down the line, I wasn't going to drink anymore. So I didn't want to make it seem like I was backsliding or acting like I was getting my shit together when I wasn't really getting my shit together prematurely. So I had to get comfortable with becoming who I was becoming, with becoming who I was developing into. So I kept it under my hat until a year. After I hadn't drank in a whole year, I knew. I'm like, all right, yeah, I don't drink anymore. Now I can comfortably say I don't drink because I don't. I got 365 days under my belt, and I never took another drink again. But I had to get sure. You may have things about you that you are trying to get together. So you might not be sure of the new you that you're working on. So, you know, until you are comfortable with a person enough to trust them with the new you that you are trying to become. Because how do you know they're not going to try to ridicule you? Man, you could take a little drink. Come on, smoke with me. Hey, come on now. Or, don't be a square. Don't be a punk. Don't be a pussy. Don't, you know what I mean? Don't be a scaredy cat. One little thing, one little smoke, one little line, one little blank. It ain't going. So until you get comfortable, until you get to a point where you're comfortable with yourself, you might not be able to give them 100. But guess what? There ain't a test that's available out there that you can take that you can't pass with a 75, with an 80, with an 85, with a 90. You can still improve as the semester goes on. So you don't owe anybody you keeping it 100. You may owe them the feeling of feeling comfortable around you, safe around you, not in danger around you. And if you trying to get comfortable with yourself scares somebody off, well, you might have to just eat that. You might just have to say, well, I think that's I guess that's really not the person. Maybe they were very good looking, but I can't. Why would I want to be with somebody that's not even going to allow me to even become myself, or to extract the better parts of myself? Okay. Let me see. Oh shit. Mia says a good chi-chi will have you full for hours and be tasty. To have a job where you have had to get, when you have had to gain an appreciation for jail food. Hey, Mia, not for nothing, and please don't take offense, but have you ever had a jail drink? You know, that good jail drink that comes out of that sock. You know what I mean? You ever had a drink in, since you know what a good chi-chi is versus, an amateur rookie chi-chi. Since you know all the good jail chefs, you know what I mean? Have you had the pleasure of taking home a jail drink? Like that prison punch? I'm just asking. Oh, Mia says, laughing my ass off. My coworker used to make them for us on the block, and we used to F that thing up. We got all our ingredients together and made it work. Struggle meal at work. Well, who knew that in the same thread where I was busting balls, you would handle that? To say that I appreciate that should go without saying, but I bet I'm going to say it. I appreciate it. Okay. Carol says, been married almost 26 years, and my husband has yet to hear me say need something. Wow. Wow. Woo. TK Wright says, I'm like that too. Woo. Woo. Mia says, as a matter of fact, you're right. The date would have ended early if he started talking sexual. I would be scared if the date continued. He would think it's going to happen. That nigga's, I mean, he fattening you at dinner. He fattening you up for the this nigga might put something in your drink. Carol says, like a stalker like a stalker ex. Yeah, talking about, yeah. I mean, what can make you feel more unsafe than knowing that somebody has somebody after them? So you can't feel comfortable when you're at their place or when you're at yours. That somebody might be out there copying your license plate and looking up your address. Some old crazy shit. Mia says, if you're working on yourself, you should let the person know that you are just going, you are just going out for some adult interaction, but that dating someone serious at the moment isn't what you are doing. But you might be wanting to date somebody seriously, but you still have some things to work on for yourself. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just me, but I can't get into what people be like. You got to get your shit together before you get into a relationship. I don't think so. Most people that are in relationships don't have their shit together or apart. I mean, they don't have their shit together while they with somebody and they didn't have anybody together. I mean, didn't have their shit together necessarily when they were single. You should be able to work on yourself with somebody. That's my real point. You should be able to have somebody understand that what you see is what you get, but you're going to get more because I'm working on something that's way better than what I have now. Because so if you like this, wait till you see the finished product. A simple example of that. Remember when your mom or your grandmom or your aunt used to make cake back in the day? And I'm talking about before you learn how to make shit from scratch or whatever. Listen, all right, look, let me just tell y'all like this. I like Betty Crocker. I like Duncan Hines cakes. I like that shit. And a lot of times my mom would make that shit and she would be ready to put the icing on the cake. And I'd be like, no, let me get that. And she'd be like, oh, boy, you ain't getting none of this cake before I'm like, Mom, I need a piece of that cake. Because that's what I smell baking. That's what I smell that I want some of now. I don't want it I want it in its natural form. I don't want it with the icing. Not yet. I want it with the icing once you put the icing on it. But I want a piece straight out the oven, all hot. I mean, you know how it is. Pastries is hot. It's hot, son. You know what I'm saying? It's hot. So, well, that might be exactly what you are. Somebody is catching you fresh out the oven. They don't know you about to be on some different shit. You about to be wedding cake. You about to be Denise's from 22nd Street. I'm just saying. My Philly peeps know what I'm talking about. So, but you should be able to communicate with somebody that if you like what you like now, just hang in there because I have something so much better. What you see now, you wouldn't have seen 6 months ago, a year ago, 6 years ago. But what you're going to see in 6 more months or 6 more years, I think you're going to dig this. So let me see. Okay. Mia says you can be upfront with a person without telling your whole life story. Exactly. Bingo. Uh-oh. And so says, my children's father don't want any men around. Oh, yeah. Don't have no niggas around my kids. Don't have no bitches around my kids. Don't have my niggas around. Have no bitches around my kids. Don't have my niggas around my kids. Don't have no bitches around my kids. Have my niggas around no kids. Don't have my niggas around. Don't have no niggas. Don't have no niggas. Don't have no bitches. Don't have no niggas around my kids. Don't have no bitches around my kids. Don't have no niggas around my kids. Don't have no bitches around my kids. Don't have no niggas around my kids. Don't have no bitches around my kids. Don't have. You know, that's a form of control, but it happens. And that's not good good, just trying to get off the ground and get to know each other and like each other. Conversation right there. That's no good. That's no good. Because when somebody says don't have no niggas around my kid, don't have no bitches around my kids, what they really trying to say is you can't do what you want to do without my permission. I know we don't want to look at ourselves as saying that, but that's what you're saying. Because you're telling the person that you had children with that you don't trust them around their own children. You don't trust your own children to be safe around their mother or their father. And you're trying to control that. You might not want to show that part of yourself to somebody that you're dealing with. But hey, man, you know, there's a top to every pot. It says, man, listen, some days times were hard and you had to put something together. My coworker made that chi-chi. I ain't mad. He says, and hell no, I'm not drinking no hooch. Well, maybe not on the job. You ain't never drink no hooch? Mia, you ain't never drink no hooch. I heard hooch is a good thing. I heard hooch is a great thing. Hooch on the street, I heard in jail it's worth a certain amount, but on the street, it's like, yo, that hooch, I heard it's worth more than corn liquor. We went to the club, man. We had that hooch in us. Right, man, I don't need none of that Belvedere. I don't need none of that Grey Goose. I had the hooch. We was feeling all right. Had me a flask of hooch. This gonna get you right. Woo! Make me want to fight in the yard. Look at this. Me and some no hooch, no moonshine, and no corn liquor. Okay. Peace out, Emily. Let me write that down. No hooch. All right, let me see. No hooch. No moonshine. No corn liquor. Okay. All right. Okay. There you go. Okay. All right. Try not to scare a man or a woman. Make sure y'all hit that like button, y'all. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, this is the Daily Go Getterism Show. And we are talking about trying not to scare a man or a woman away before a relationship. What are the things that you can do to scare a man or a woman away from a relationship? And what are those things that you should do to mitigate yourself from scaring them away too early? The things that you show a person up front or early in a relationship, that's not symbolic of the fake you or the real you. There's some left. I mean, come on, man. We got some years on us. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years on us. We have some years. How do you figure that you're going to give somebody everything that you have become within a few weeks or a few months or whatever? You're going to have to space it out. You have evolved. You've come from one place and you landed at another place, and you're probably still traveling and trying to get to wherever the pursuit of your journey is. You know? But in the meantime, there's going to be hooch. There's going to be moonshine. There's going to be corn. Wait a minute. I mean, there's going to be, damn it, Mia. There's going to be ups. There's going to be downs. There's going to be peaks. There's going to be valleys. There's going to be rough roads. There's going to be smooth times. There's going to be things and times when you think that you have it all figured out, and then you're going to get tripped up again, and you're going to realize that you got to get back on your shit. There's going to be times when you on your dean and you deaning hard, and there's going to be certain times when you are haram. You on some other shit right now. But what I mean is you're not saved. There's going to be times when you are saved and times when you ain't saved. You got to pull off a save right now, homie. Go get right. Go get with God. Go with God. Try not to scare a man or a woman away. Before we get out of here, I want to talk about something that's a little sensitive. Something that can make linking up with somebody, getting with somebody, a real challenge. What if you have health problems? Now, some people might say that if you have serious health problems, you shouldn't be thinking about no relationship. I don't know. People just get on my fucking nerves telling me when you should be thinking about getting into a relationship. You get into a relationship when you think that you're ready. You ain't on nobody else's timeline. How's somebody gonna tell you that you gotta wait until listen, when you were a teenager, you probably weren't allowed to date until a certain age. Well, that should have been the last time somebody should have been able to tell you when you could date somebody, or when you could think about dating somebody, or when you could get into a relationship. How are grown people telling other grown people when it's appropriate for them to get into relationships? And we co-signing that shit like, yep, that's right. If your money ain't right, you ain't got no business trying to think about sex or get into no relationship. I bet you it's more broke. I bet you it's more broke people in love than rich people. I'll bet you that. I'll bet you that. I'll bet you that. So what if you have what if you have serious health issues? Maybe even fatal health issues, or potentially fatal health issues. Like if I'm having a really serious bout with diabetes, should I reveal that up front? If I just had a checkup recently and I'm awaiting the results of a biopsy, should I reveal that? If I'm awaiting doing a procedure, surgery, should I reveal that? How long should it be? If I have sickle cell anemia, do I need to tell you that early in a relationship? And what if that does scare somebody off? They don't want to deal with nobody that has health issues. They don't want to deal with nobody that they might have to take to the hospital sometimes. They don't want to deal with somebody that might not be healthy at all times. They don't want to deal with somebody who they may have to, lend assistance to. It's valid. It's valid. And the reason that it's valid is that you have the right to be with the type of person that you want to be with. And that person might be a 100% mobily healthy person. You might not want to deal with somebody who has a handicap, even if it's not visual. What if your eyes are really bad? Okay, you can see that they have Coke bottle glasses, but so what? You know what I'm saying? You know how many people are ashamed of that shit? A lot. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're not keeping it 100 with them, but that might scare some people off. Yeah, I have sickle cell. I have sickle cell, and every now and then I'm in the hospital for a good while. And I have to get blood transfusions sometimes. And there are times when I'm in excruciating pain, and it keeps me down, and I'm out of work for a long time. And sometimes, I'm on partial disability and things like that. I'm trying to get back. Cal says, "Why not? Sometimes you have to be honest, especially." Oh, you said why not? Sometimes you have to be honest, especially if you are ill. What you mean if you are ill? You mean like, yo, what I mean? I got it like that. I'm ill. Oh, you mean sick? About to say, because I'm ill. Mia says, good question. Oh, when do you tell someone you got issues? Well, somebody in your family has health issues, and you have to spend a lot of time with them. So maybe you are dealing with a sick loved one that might stop you from being able to travel and go places and be absent or away for long periods of time. Some people might not be with all that, but they're kind of telling you that they don't care. They don't care if you have to. Peace, Carol. Thanks for coming through, ma. They're kind of telling you that they don't care what you have going on. That's important to you. And if that scares a person away, you might look at it like, well, that's probably good for me. But you might not look at it that way because you might want them. TK Wright says, have or had, Mia. It's better to showcase the healing portions of yourself, then share the journey later on. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, okay. I see y'all got it. We got to get up out of here now. But I appreciate this conversation, y'all. This is good shit. Stacey White says up front, you think you should share that up front? Okay. I ain't mad at it. I am no mad. I am no mad at you. I am no mad at that. I am no mad at your answer. We have some birthday shout outs. Yes, we do. We have some birthday shout outs. Yes, we do. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious April 27th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box. Cookie Billups. Happy birthday to you, Cookie. Turning 52 years old today. And also Robin Ritchie. Happy birthday to you. And Teresa Walker. Turning 54 years old today. Happy birthday to you. And Joyce Henry. Turning 68 years old today. Happy birthday. And Camille Gordon. Turning 50 years old today. And Nikki R. Dowdle, I guess. Happy birthday to you. And last but not least, turning 52 years old today, Cindy Carter. Happy birthday to you. I want to say happy birthday to all y'all. I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And anyone else out there who shares this birthday on this glorious April 27th. All y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on it, do the damn, rock out, rock on it, do the damn, rock out, rock on it, do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. And remember, man, listen, man, you know, take me as I am. In order to get something better, you got to do something different. You can't do things the same way and expect that things are going to improve. And there are always things that we can do a little bit better than how we have been doing them. But if we don't keep it 100 with ourselves, then we'll never be able to keep it 100 with anybody else. If we never get comfortable with who we are and how we do things and what we represent, then you won't ever be able to get comfortable with anybody else, and you'll never be able to be honest with them. And then that could become a trust issue. So if the way that you really are, your authentic self, the part that you like, the part that you are comfortable with, if you can't share that with somebody else, if you can't attract anybody to you with that comfortable part of yourself that you have, then maybe you are comfortable with the wrong things. Everybody can't always be wrong. I didn't say everybody can't be wrong, because they can. All it takes is the wrong information and belief in all the wrong information. And yes, everybody can be wrong, but everybody can't be wrong all the time. We all want to be happy in a relationship. We all want to be loved and to be able to love somebody in a loving, trustful way. We all want to get comfortable one day. One day we want to all be able to put our feet up with the person that we really love and know that it's going to be all right and everything is going to be all right. Think it won't. Everything is going to be all right and everything is going to be all right. Be your real self. Everything is going to be all right and everything is going to be all right. Do your thing now. Everything is going to be all right. You let your hair down so you can pull your pants down. Anyway, peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. I love y'all right back to life. Try not to scare nobody away tonight. And try not to regret and live in the remorse that you have scared people away before. Your journey is your journey, and you can't change the trajectory of your journey. You're going to go where you are supposed to go. Now, what time you will get there and exactly where that place will land, not sure. Not sure for you, but are you sure for you? If you ain't sure for you, then try to get more sure for you. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. I love y'all back to life. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, we will be back tomorrow for another Daily Go Get 'Emism show. Blog Talk, we gonna get you out of here. Yeah. And for my YouTubers, you know just how we do. But thanks for coming on through. See you on the other side, my boobers. Peace.